Look, this for all my boss days. Go do your boss days. Loving how you boss babe. This for all my dreamers and my doers and all the entrepreneurs. Just believe in what you doing and pursuing them. This for all my boss days. Go do your boss days.
Boss fam, really quick, you have got to start automating your sales process. I know you love your cleaning business, this is your baby, but you can't do everything. You're trying to run a business here. So automate your sales process so that you can have more time to close deals and grow your cleaning business. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're the CEO, you're the owner. So you are responsible for growing the business, not doing all those small day-to-day tasks. And if you don't know how to automate your sales process, I have a guide. So go in the link in the description and download the guide. That way you can start automating the sales process and start growing your business and working on your business instead of in it. Love you guys. Keep that boss mentality. Peace.
What's up, boss family? Welcome back to the Cleaning Boss Podcast. We try to give you everything you need to become the ultimate cleaning boss. I'm trying to find the energy today, man. I really am, because my team is preparing for the state championship yet again. We've gone every year so far. This is last year's sweatshirt. Getting sweatshirts for this year today. We got 2 more practices, and then this weekend we are off to Spokane, Washington to participate in the state tournament. So I'm trying to find the energy, man. I'm trying to find the energy. But today, I wanted to talk about employees. I got a comment on one of my recent YouTube videos about finding good employees and keeping good employees. And this particular, I guess, business owner is having trouble keeping the good. When they get good employees, they have trouble keeping them, and they have trouble kind of finding good employees to start. And obviously picking through the weeds of all the applications for employees is always difficult. It's always a task, but it's something that we can work through. There are solutions, and I mean, yeah, it's going to be some work. Of course, if you run from the work, you might as well hide from the money. But there are solutions and ways to approach this so that you can have a better time. Because without good employees, it's absolutely impossible to scale. There's no way to start to grow if you can't rely on the people that you have, and if you don't have the systems in place as well in order to manage those people and to make sure that those that same thing happens, that whatever it is that keeps them grounded to your company that you create. Systematizing that to make sure that those employees stay even when you're not around, so that those same things keep happening. But that's what I wanted to talk about today. Let's see what the chat's looking like. No one in the chat yet, man. Get up in the chat. Let me know you guys are here. I gotta know who's in the building. Let me know. I don't want to be in here by myself. Either way, today's gonna be pretty quick. Like I told you, I gotta go and we gotta start practice. So we're gonna get right into it. Get back to OBS. Nobody in the chat yet, but when you get here, please hop in the chat. Let me know you're here. Say what's up, and we're gonna get this thing rolling. But first thing in regards to employees is overall, you have to care. You absolutely have to care. It is blaringly obvious that a lot of you don't actually care about your employees, and that's sad. That's sad, because you should. I mean, I understand it. And especially in the beginning, newer entrepreneurs, you're kind of just excited to have somebody working. You're excited to not be doing the cleaning yourself, or you're excited to have help, and you're more thinking about your business than you are about these humans that are in your business. These are people. And it's like we get so quick to look at everything as numbers and look at everything as profit. And these are actual humans that are in our business. So like with that, I think overall, changing your perspective a little bit about how you think about your employees or even your contractors. Like, these are human beings. These are not just people making you money. These are not just people taking the workload off of you. These aren't just computers moving around and doing random stuff with no feelings. Like, these are actual human beings. They have real life, everyday problems. They have their own goals. They have their own expectations. They have their own wants and needs. And if you switch your perspective to thinking about that and understanding that it's you who works for them, it's your job to make them enjoy working for you working in your company. It's your job to create an environment where they feel like they can actually accomplish their goals and they can actually get to the places that they want to get to in life. And a lot of people don't join or become a cleaner because they absolutely love cleaning. A lot of people who are in this industry are in it because it's a last resort of sorts. To be honest, it's kind of a last resort of sorts for a lot of people. That's how a lot of people look at it. Yes, there are some people who actually really love to clean, and hats off to those people. Those are the people who kind of lead the industry. But most employees, especially people who are just kind of looking for a job as a cleaner, they're a lot of those people, they're really just trying to find something that works for them, trying to figure out a way where they can make this life work for them, and they're kind of just looking to better their situation. So it's not always about a love for cleaning, and it's also not always about money. It's not always about needing to make a certain amount of money. And yes, people do need to make a certain amount of money, but if they can make some of it with you, then and feel great about it and feel like they're in a place where maybe they can grow or maybe they can get to where they need to get to in order to accomplish whatever goal it is that they have for themselves, then you can approach handling your employees a lot better. For instance, I had an employee who, she worked alone a lot. She worked alone. She didn't. It wasn't that she didn't like to work in a team. It was just I could really rely on her to kind of open and close locations by herself, and yeah, she was just really easy to rely on, and so I relied on her, and she just, by the nature of the types of jobs that we needed her for, she ended up kind of by herself quite a bit, and just because I paid attention and I made sure I went out of my way to talk to her about not just work, but the things that she enjoyed and the things that she liked in her personal life, I found that she liked, she was really into women's basketball, and we have the Seattle Storm out here, and we purchased tickets for her to go to games just because, and small things like that, season tickets actually, and this is before, like, yes, the WNBA was growing, but it doesn't have the attention. It didn't have the attention it does now. Not even close, not by a long shot. So season tickets was not like a huge purchase. But in retrospect, I would have purchased the tickets for the company and allowed certain employees to use them, I guess whenever. But at that time, I kind of just wanted to keep her happy and to give her a reason to, to let her know that I was paying attention and that I noticed her work, and I noticed that, her sacrifice for the company. And so we did that, as a company, we did that. We purchased season tickets for her, and it made it worth it for her. I could tell that it made it worth it for her. She could tell that we actually paid attention to give her something that that she cared about. Now, I'm not saying go and buy season tickets for all your employees. I'm saying that you have to pay attention to what's important to your employees. If you are focused on what's important to them, it'll be a lot easier for you to create an environment where they feel like they can be successful, or at least feel like they're appreciated or feel like they're being paid attention to. So also, before you even have this employee inside of your business, you need to attract the right type of employees to begin with. Now, either way you go, hiring is always going to be somewhat of a guess. You don't really know how good someone is going to be before you hire them. There's just no way to know. You can use your intuition and your gut feeling, and oftentimes that's right. But in the grand scheme of things, you really don't know. You really have no idea. The sentiment that I follow is that you hire fast and you fire faster. So you hire someone, if you feel in your gut that they might be okay or that they have potential, then I usually just take a chance on people, and you fire people immediately when you know that it's not a fit. So you don't waste time. You cut those ties quick when you know for sure that this is not a fit. I do give people grace, I guess, now later on in my business, but yeah, we generally still follow that model, and it's the way I train supervisors and employees to hire and fire as well. So everyone kind of has the mentality of, all right, we'll probably give most people a chance if they seem to match our values. But the second that we know, or the second that we realize that this person is not going to be a good fit for the company, then we have to part ways, because it's not fair to us and it's not fair to them. So we want to put them in a better position, and we explain it that way as well, so that we could keep those relationships, and maybe they come back at a different point in life, or a different stage in life, where they might be a better fit. But in finding those good fits, it starts with your messaging and the imagery and the things that you put out in your job ads, and in your marketing about your company. I have a buddy, David, who owns a company, a couple cities, a couple towns over in Bellevue, and doing really, really well. But we run two completely different types of businesses. His business, everything that you see about his business or about his employees, it's fun loving. It's the employees are like, they're having parties, and they're throwing things and doing like different hoorahs and group activities and things like that. And that's awesome. It's just not, I just have a completely different vibe. And so the employees that he tends to attract are people, they have that expectation of going there and having that big camaraderie, and having the hoorah of, the team effort. And I think that's absolutely awesome. But on the other hand, my company, if you look at all of the advertisements, or the way even my company looks, is a lot more serious. And I tend to attract people who are more like looking for second jobs, or, looking to take things a little bit more serious. Not to say that they're not taking things serious or childish, but like I usually attract, I guess, a older employee, or generally a slightly older demographic, and people who kind of take things a little bit more seriously, and they aren't necessarily looking for a high energy. I guess that's the term I'm looking for, high energy. You can see it's very high energy, very very team building, like they do tons of like activities during the job. A lot of my teams kind of work in their teams. They go to their shifts. They handle business. Yes, we do like support each other, and I do things like things that I know will make people happy, because I'm paying attention to what they need and what they want. But we approach it in a different way. It's just two different vibes, and you have to be conscious of that when you're trying to attract a certain type of employee. So try to be a value match. Everyone's just kind of trying to be everything for everybody, and you can't do that. You have to decide who you are, and you have to decide who you're trying to attract, and that's going to go a long way in the hiring process. And yeah, it's really helped us to find our lane. It's helped my buddy David to find his lane, and no one way is more right than the other. He does amazing work, and he has an amazing business. I feel like my business is doing just as well, and so both can exist. Both things can exist. Value match. So make sure you start off by finding value matches in your messaging, in your imagery, and the things that you put out in your job posts, whether or not you're, doesn't matter what platform you're advertising or you're posting on for jobs. Just make sure that your imagery and your messaging is a value match for what you want to have in your company. If you want it to be fun loving, then use that type of verbiage, use that type of imagery. If you want it to be more serious, then you're going to use that type of those type of verbiage and imagery, or whatever the vibe is. Think about who you are and kind of who you want to be around, and what you want the culture and the company to be about, and that's what you want to aim for. And then also volume. You need volume. I talk about this all the time. You need volume. You're not going to get it off of just one post every few months. You're not going to get it from putting one job post out there. Like, you have to advertise for employees like you advertise for clients, and you're going to always be doing that. You always are always hiring. You're always hiring. You're always hiring, and you're always accepting new work. And you're going to keep a list of those employees to kind of comb through when you need more employees, or when you get that work. Because you never want to be caught without the ability to grow, the ability to take on new work. And that's the name of the game. It's your company needs to keep growing. So, that's my daughter. Yes, hang on one second. I'm on live stream, baby girl.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. Everything. Do you got tap shoes?
Yeah, I got my tap shoes.
That's awesome. All right, I'll call you after my live stream. All right. Love you. Bye. My daughter is in a musical for school, and so she was calling to show me her tap shoes. That's cute. I cover her call in a little bit. Like I said, I'm not gonna be on long. I'm usually doing family stuff right now, and I gotta get ready for this practice. Like I said, let's go goals, Bird Gang, baby. Trying to go win us a state championship, man. I need a ring. We need a ring. We've gone every year. We've tipped this year. We've had a really tough season. We were able to sneak into the state tournament by way of and by way of winning a qualifying tournament. But our season didn't go well in our league. So, but we're in a much better shape now. We're a much better squad now. We've learned a lot, practiced a lot. It's gonna be tough, and so we've done extremely well in tournaments this year, but not in our league play. So we seem to kind of like the pressure of a tournament and needing to win every game in order to have some success. So let's hope that is the case when we head out here to Spokane. We can get us a victory. I'm pumped. The kids are pumped. We're gonna go into this week of practice. Last couple of practices with my guys. And oh yeah, shout out to my son. My son has been invited to go play in the shoot circuit for middle school. He's gonna be a Puma athlete, so I'm extremely proud of him. The basketball runs deep in his veins. So yeah, shout out to J15, man. If y'all are interested in following the journey, his journey, the team's journey, I'll be posting more of that stuff on the E31 Hoops page on YouTube and Instagram. I don't post on the YouTube a lot, but we do post on Instagram. So yeah, go check us out over there, man. We're hooping, baby. We're hooping. But anyway, if you guys have any questions about your cleaning business, if you're struggling with anything, make sure you put your questions in the chat so that I can answer them. My spiel doesn't go on for much longer, and if there's no questions, then we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Oh, it looks like there are some questions in the chat. All right, we'll get to the questions here in just a second. Just want to make sure I touched on everything I wanted to touch on in terms of employees. So we went through being a value match, with attracting what type of vibe you want, putting out the type of vibe that you want to attract. We talked about, what else did we talk about? People of Reddit says, so awesome seeing you in the new setup, looking better every day. And so far, been taking a lot of L's in my cleaning business. Cold calls and cold emails haven't been doing well for me. Hey, you get better. You got to figure out why, like at what point are people falling off of that train, and where's the disconnect? And you just keep attacking, keep approaching. The L's are you're just learning. That's it. You're just learning. It's okay. Volume. The more you do it, the more L's you take, the quicker it is, the quicker the growth is going to be. But volume, that reminds me. Yes, we need volume of applications. So be advertising if you can. If there is a budget, if you have a marketing budget, if you're already running ads and things like that, you should be running ads for employees as well. So it's extremely important that you keep a flow of applications coming. But people have read it. I appreciate it, man. Yes, the studio is coming together, man. It is coming together. We still are under construction. It's going to be a while before I can get the space how I actually want it. It's going to take a crazy transformation. And yeah, I'm pumped. I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. I like the space, but it's definitely going to change. We're still under construction. And I'll be in Spokane next week, and then I'm traveling for the end of the month, so it's gonna be hard to get some of this work done. But as soon as I can, we will get back to construction on this building, and I'll be unveiling a completely new look for the podcast and for the studio as a whole. It's gonna be dope. I'm pumped. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you for following. Thank you guys for being here and tagging along on my journey. We got some big things this week. We are in negotiations with always the biggest companies in the world. We've been doing some work with Boeing. I have a video coming out on what it's like to go and quote one of the largest companies in the world. Boeing is huge. That is a big company. I think they spend probably $8,000 a month on the floors in one building alone. It is absolutely wild. And I don't know if you guys understand what it takes for me to be able to bring you footage from this walkthrough you are not allowed to film inside of Boeing. That is a Department of Defense contract. They don't allow cameras in there. So the fact that I was able to, get some footage, even though I'm pretty sure this might be illegal, I had to document it. You guys know I've been documenting my journey since day one, so I try to document as much as I can. But yeah, I'm pumped that I have some footage to share with you guys of what it's like to go and quote one of the largest businesses in the world. And when I say, like, you guys don't understand, everybody in this city works there. Like, most people work there or for a company that supports them. It's crazy big. It's its own city. They have their own fast food restaurants, their own cell phone stores inside of there. When I was in high school, it was rumored that there was a drug ring, that they had their own drug ring inside of their company. They have their own police force. It's ridiculously big. It's a huge behemoth, massive company. They make freaking airplanes inside of the building. There's usually rows of four for like 15 next to each other inside of one building. It is a huge, huge business. I personally never want to own anything that big. I never want to have those problems. Those are crazy problems to have. It's like managing a freaking city. And not even just in this particular city. They're all over the place. There's Texas, Nashville, overseas. They have places everywhere. This is a huge, 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 massive company. And so working with them has been absolutely, absolutely dope. I'm just honored to even be in the conversation. It is obviously something that I've been positioning my company to do since its inception as a dream, which crazy. Who would have thought that we would actually be here? But they're not the only thing that's going on. So immediately once I started doing work for them, I had to try to diversify. So now we need more massive contracts to kind of even out. I don't want any one company to kind of have everything over its head. And so dope videos coming up. We're doing the Mercedes-Benz. We have what's that? That's the University of more spots in University of Washington. So we have some massive contracts, some massive walkthroughs that I get to take you guys on. So I'm hoping I can film in a way that that you guys are able to see, I guess, more value and be able to take something away from it. But lots of business going on, lots of videos coming out. I am excited to still be documenting my journey. This is how I built this channel and how I, built the reputation that I kind of have online. So I'm pumped for it. But I hope you guys took something away from my take on employees. You have to care. You have to care about your employees. You have to actually put them first. You have to pay attention to what it is that they like, what it is that they need, what do they value, what's important to them, and find a way to have your business support that. That's really it. That's really it. Be a value match, and then actually care about your employees. A lot of people really just don't care about your employees whatsoever. They're a number to you. They're a means to an end for you to not be cleaning or for you to kind of build your business. But if you're not taking the time, especially you guys who are less than 20 employees, like take your time and like get to know each one of them. It's not hard. It's 20 people that your livelihood depends on. They depend on you for their livelihood. Take some time and get to know them and see what's important to them and what's going on in their lifestyle, how your business can accommodate them getting to their goals, whether they're going to be there for a year or 6 months, or like a lot of people just don't know. Like if you would have a conversation with your employees, you would know that this person only plans on being there for a month and a half or 6 months or a year, and then they're going to move on to something else. If you know that, then you get to plan accordingly, and people quitting won't just shock you. It won't come as a surprise. If you know someone's unhappy because you're talking to them, then you can kind of expect them to not be there and not stay where they're unhappy. So pay attention to your employees. Actually care about them, man, and it'll help you to decide whether or not you need to add a specific benefit for everyone, or if you need to make a certain task about the job easier, or if they would prefer to have parking. Like everything's not always about money. Yes, you need to be competitive in your wages and in your compensation for the job. But yeah, everything isn't always about money. If you can do things that are important to the people and that you've attracted through this through the value matching that you've done, then you can create something and create a culture and create benefits and and incentives that are important to the people that that work for you. So actually care. That's the main thing, is you have to actually care about your employees. And that's what I want you guys to take away from this particular live stream. But let's get into the chat. Let's answer some questions. This is one of the most valuable things about this live stream, is that you get to ask questions in real time. I'm here for you. So if you have questions about your cleaning business, if you're stuck on something, if you don't know how to get something done, then definitely put your question in the chat, and I kind of go one by one. So yeah, let's get through it. See who's in the chat. Sure Comfort Cleaning is in the building. Appreciate you, boss. I see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Erica Ventura. Always a pleasure to have you. Says, hey, DJ, I heard Tuesday Lives are back. I'm so excited. Yes, Tuesday Lives are back in full effect. I didn't promote this one. This one kind of snuck up on me. I've been editing videos and putting the clips out and stuff like that. So, but we back, man. It'll build up. I trust the process. We are here every Tuesday, 3 p.m. So come and kick it with us live. Ask your questions, get your questions answered. And hear whatever the topic of the day is. Today it was about employees. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If there's something that comes up a lot in the chat, then I'll make that a topic for one of the next videos. And of course, I still have my regular videos of me documenting my journey through building this cleaning business on the channel as well. I'm gonna have some guests. Be bringing some guests back on pretty soon here. We'll probably do a couple Zoom style guests. I was on another podcast recently, so I'll probably be sharing that with you. I want to give them an opportunity. No one creates content like me. If you can't tell, I'm on a freaking roll right now. I'm pumping out content left and right. So like we're on it. And so I need everyone else to be on it who I work with, but other people who do content that I do collaborations with aren't moving quite as quickly as I am, but I do want to give them an opportunity to go ahead and get their content to their audience. I'll share it with you guys, but I don't, as a larger creator than some of the people that I collab with, I never want to cannibalize their audience, cannibalize their views by putting something of theirs out before them, and then them not being able to get the proper reach that they deserve on their own. So I'll wait for them to put those things out, and then I'll share it with the community and hopefully grow. Help grow other people's channels. So it's all about, being helpful to everyone in every situation. So I try to bring value wherever I am. But with that said, collaboration podcasts and being a podcast guest, those type of things will be coming out on the channel, as well as all of the documentation of me running around running this business. I will be out in Spokane next week or this weekend, so I'll probably include some documentation of that and try to maybe mix a video with kind of us traveling with my youth basketball team as we try to go and win us a state championship. But yeah, let's get into it. All around everything cleaning, says checking in, fam. Good to be here. Thanks for sharing game as always. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Nothing I'd rather be doing. People of Reddit says, at what point did it make sense for you to hire out for cleaners? Since I don't have that much capital to expend at the moment, trying to at least get to 5 to 10K a month, I don't know if that's possible. Well, 5 to 10K a month is absolutely possible. Like that's probably right around what I was doing by myself, was right, like in terms of cleaning and hours and paying myself for the hours that I cleaned as an employee. I probably was making about 10K a month. Probably right around 10K a month. Maybe a little over some months, maybe a little less some months, but yeah, averaging right around 10K a month. So it's definitely 100% possible. But what you will find is that right there at that 6-figure mark of you doing all the work, you can't do much more work. There's not a lot of time left for you to, one, be looking for a new business or going out on enough walkthroughs to be getting a new business on a consistent basis, or and you're just tired. You've worked. You're exhausted working that much. Like that's a lot of hours to 10 grand, like that billable hours. That's a lot of hours. So that means you're working endlessly and you don't have time to actually grow to even get more clients. So it's kind of where, if you're not close to there yet, you probably have some more hours in your day left to work and get more clients. So yes, try to fill that schedule. But that's how I approached it. I wanted to fill my schedule completely, and then try to stack on one more client, and as that one more client would come on, those are the things that I would hire out for. Or I would go and put myself in that position and hire out for something that I was already doing maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I didn't start off just taking myself completely out of the cleaning. It was maybe I'm working 80 hours, and then a client comes to me with an additional 20 hours of work. At 80, I'm probably not about to try to go to 100 hours a week working in actual cleaning. By that point, you realize you do need help. So when that comes, I'll maybe cut my hours down to 60 so that I can actually, perfect what I'm doing in this new facility and actually create a system for there. I already have a system for what I was doing already. So it's easy for me to train someone to take over what I'm already doing, or part of what I'm doing, as just a part-time job to help me. And then as I continue to get more business so that my income doesn't completely suffer, yes, you take a hit. That's what people are afraid of. You're going to take a hit. Like, you're going to have to spend some of this money that you're making, some of that 5 to 10 grand a month. Like you're going to have to make a budget and live underneath that budget. Like, decide how much you actually need to take home, because like very few people actually need to take home 10 grand a month. You don't need 6 figures. Like, you can live on less, especially those of us who are trying to get somewhere else. You can live on a little bit less, and decide what that number is, and decide what that budget is, and stay in it, and control your behavior, control yourself. Like, I understand life comes up. That's why you want to be preparing by saving and making sure that you can save and put money aside those 3 to 6 months of personal expenses and business expenses. But once you save that up, you live within a budget. You create a budget and you decide how much it's going to take. And then once you earn beyond that, though, that money gets invested back into your business to free up your time. And eventually, as you continue to keep doing that, you adding more billable hours, putting someone else in place to take over the things that you're doing. The more you do that, the more you create systems on how to do what it is that you're doing in these locations, the quicker it is that you can remove yourself from it completely after a while. And it may not take that long. I just so happened to be at 80 and get a client that got me 20 more hours, and so I took some hours that I was already working, hired it out for a part-timer to just so that I have help while I work that other 60 to 70 hours worth of work. But then another client comes and they have an additional 40 billable hours. Okay, now I get to hire that out almost completely, maybe work 1 or 2 days a week, and still be able to make and pay myself the same thing that I was paying myself when I was working that full 80 hours. So it's not always just you take yourself straight out. It has to make sense for you on a personal level as well, on your personal finances as well. So and you just wait for the jump, ride the growth. If you have to clean for a little bit longer, that's okay. That's all right. As long as that's what's paying your bills and you're hitting that number that's your minimum of what that you need to live, that you need to pay your bills and save money and put money to the side. It's okay. Be there. Don't be afraid to be in the level that you are. Everyone kind of wants to rush it, but sometimes you just can't rush it. Especially if you only get smaller clients at a time, which is why I only even I'm a whale hunter. I've never really tried to go for the smaller business. I let smaller business happen, but you guys see me. I'm launching harpoons. I'm trying to catch whales. I'm trying to catch the biggest businesses in the world. I'm trying to catch partner with the biggest brands, partner with the biggest businesses. I tie my company to state and government and government entities to increase my company's authority and position in my community, which builds brand with the other biggest businesses in the world who do business here. And so that's my plan, and that's my approach, because when I do have success, it's big success. Yes, it's few and far between. Yes, it seems like it's more expensive in the advertisement because you're not really, most of these people aren't looking for your advertisement or following your cookie around the internet. That's not how that business works. It's kind of by word of mouth and them just having a constant presence in your community. But you do that over time, and as you guys have seen it, we've done that over time, and now we do business with the biggest brands in the world that do business in this area. So, and that's how we get there. Let's see, Erica Ventura. Love to have you in the chat as always. Says, I set up a Google My Business. It gets suspended without me even giving it a try, it's just automatically suspended. I am so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Ouch. That's a frustrating thing to have happen. You will have to reach out to Google. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't have any information, so I'm not sure why it was suspended, but it could be suspended for a number of reasons. Google really wants real results for real people, so they're working really hard to like they have their algorithm working really hard to weed out things that may be spam or suspicious or not the right answer for queries. And when people try to force themselves in there, then I'm not saying that this is what you're doing, or when it even just looks like someone's trying to force themselves in there into those search queries, it flags Google to suspend those accounts. So I don't know what it is, or what action you might have taken that may have triggered that suspension in that algorithm, because it's not like I don't think it's a human that's going around and just saying, no, I'm going to suspend you. I think you take certain actions or put certain things in place. Maybe it was like a PO box or a virtual address that was tried to use, or maybe it's like a duplicate of multiple or something like that that maybe that flagged Google to suspend the account. But it does happen, and I've dealt with it before. I mean, I've had it take maybe a couple days before, and I've had it take a couple months to figure out before. And it sucks. It sucks. It's a pain in the ass to deal with, because Google is like, that's how people find us. That's kind of how people, that's where our organic traffic comes. Meanwhile, like the only thing that you can do is use other platforms. If you're creating content, you definitely should be creating content for your cleaning business, not trying to be pretty to other cleaning business, but trying to be valuable for your end user. Create content on the other platforms. LinkedIn is a great one for B2B if you're doing B2B. Facebook and Instagram are great if you're doing residential. So be posting on those other platforms, and you can still participate in the Google ecosystem by purchasing ads. But having a suspended account doesn't make you feel too too confident in Google's platform. I understand that, but it is a way where you can kind of to get around not showing up in search results, or having your I don't know. Actually, can you even run ads with a suspended account, or is it just your Google My Business that's suspended? But if you still have access and are able to your ad platform, then I would be running ads, and I'll probably increase my ad spend to make up for the lost organic search traffic. But that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry, but yeah, you got to get on getting that unsuspended. Reach out to them. I think when you get suspended, there's like a support thing in the chat that you can reach out to, or a phone number that you can reach out to to request a human to review your account, and hopefully they can get that resolved for you as quick as possible, so that you can get back to making your money. But yeah, meanwhile, maybe do some backlog sales. Maybe reach out to some people who were indecisive before. Try all your other avenues of sales while that's down. I know that's difficult to deal with. So, but I'm cheering for you. Hopefully that you can get that resolved ASAP. But looks like we had no other questions today. Good, nice, quick one today. I appreciate everyone being on the live stream. If there's no other questions, then we're gonna go ahead and get ready for basketball practice. And we'll coach this team. We got to run. We're gonna run today. We're getting it in. So all the kids had their workout homework that I dished out. So everybody should be coming back a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. We're gonna get out here and hopefully D up. Now that's our theme. We're going out here to D up, guard up, step up, pressure, bringing pressure on the defensive end. So we also have a little bit of issue with some physicality. So we're gonna figure out a way to get these boys to roughen up a little bit, be a little bit rougher around the edges, play with a little bit of attitude in this state tournament. So wish us luck. Trying to get out here and hoop and play ball. Have these kids fall in love with the game. I appreciate everyone for being here. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. As always, man, keep that boss mentality. Peace. Peace. Yeah. That's my OBS.
Love this for all my boss babes. Go do your boss thing. Loving how you boss babe. This for all my dreamers and my doers and all the entrepreneurs. Just believe in what you're doing and pursuing love. This for all my boss babes. Go do your boss.
I specialize in coaching and consulting for new and aspiring commercial cleaning business owners just like you. My goal is to equip you with the tools and the knowledge you need to thrive in this competitive industry. I come up with a custom plan for you and your business. Best practices, marketing strategies, and industry secrets, and anything else you need to get ahead. You're also going to save a lot of money by avoiding costly mistakes by learning from someone who's experienced and who's done exactly what you're trying to do. Book a one-on-one session with me, and we can help get your business to the next level. Boss fam, really quick, you have got to start automating your sales process. I know you love your cleaning business, this is your baby, but you can't do everything. You're trying to run a business here. So automate your sales process so that you can have more time to close deals and grow your cleaning business. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're the CEO, you're the owner. So you are responsible for growing the business, not doing all those small day-to-day tasks. And if you don't know how to automate your sales process, I have a guide. So go in the link in the description and download the guide. That way you can start automating the sales process and start growing your business and working on your business instead of in it. Love you guys. Keep that boss mentality.